you sent me this story today. I think it's really funny. The Trump administration ended the lease for the USAID building. And so you had all these workers show up and basically be told, except for a select list of people, you can't come in. So this is from PBS. Sources of U.S. Agency for International Development staffers who showed up for work on Monday at its headquarters, Washington headquarters, were turned away after Trump administration stripped the aid agency of its lease. The Trump administration on Monday told the Associated Press it had taken the USAID off the lease of the building, which it had occupied for decades. The eviction comes as a court temporarily blocks a Trump administration order that would have pulled all but a fraction of workers off the job worldwide. I think that's the most interesting line. The fact that like the court was like, haha, checkmate, Trump. We've blocked you with this court order. And they're like, fine, no problem. No lease for these people. No office.
That's the funniest part, like Trump's fifth dimensional chess. Like, so yeah, a federal judge said, hey, you can't just fire these people. So I was like, cool, I'm just going to take their building away. And there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, it's absolutely great. Yeah.
People want to act like Trump is dumb, but they're just retarded because he's brilliant. What we've seen already this year is just his negotiating is next level, and things like this, like, yeah, he steps up.
Do you think he'll do this to other agencies?
Yes. Oh, he's going to do it to the Department of Education for sure. Like, there's an interesting twist on the judge. That judge has a daughter that's pretty high up at the Department of Education. And so, like, that judge knows that Trump is going to come after the Department of Education. I also think, like, who cares what this judge says? It's some district court judge. Like, who gives a crap? I don't even understand why Trump's even obeying him. Like, maybe that makes me sound fascistic. I don't know. But this isn't like the Supreme Court. So, like, he's not even a judge in Washington. He's a judge from, like, Delaware or Vermont or something like that, isn't he?
But this keeps happening. I mean, people are filing challenges in random states, like the birthright citizenship challenge. The first one that got presented to a judge came from New Hampshire. I mean, I guess like birthright citizenship applies everywhere in the US, so it doesn't matter, but it seems like you're going to see all of these legal battles end up basically like slowly climbing the judicial ladder all the way to the Supreme Court from different appeals court.
Yeah, it's so I guess, and you know, if I'm Trump until it's in the Supreme Court, I didn't hear it. You know, like he should be able to, at least in my opinion, you know, absolutely, you know, dismantle other federal agencies. The fact that the president would answer to some district court is bonkers to me. I don't think that like, I know Scott Jennings was on CNN last night and saying, like, you know, a similar thing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Trump doesn't have to listen to this. Like, some dork, like, district court guy. Like, he's not, he doesn't outrank Trump. And CNN's, of course, is like, we're having a constitutional crisis. Yeah, we're in constitutional crisis because Trump wants to shut down, you know, basically everybody who's melting about this, I'm just assuming is on the take. Like that, you know, Elizabeth Warren is worth what, $12 million a year, and her salary is $200,000. Like I just, you know, it's stuff like that. Nancy Pelosi is worth what, 400 million, something like that. She's practically a billionaire, you know, and she makes 200,000 a year. So I think that there's a lot of these, like, I don't really have time for, you know, people complaining about Trump cutting things. I just don't have any time for it.
Do you think this kind of runaround, I guess, I don't know my sports terms, but taking away the office, even though a lot
end
of the
around.
other stuff is end around.
Close, very close. Yeah.
Look, I could very jankily run this podcast, or I could learn about sports. There's no way I could possibly both.
Yeah.
No. So do you think that this kind of move, being like, oh, okay, even though there's a legal challenge, I'm still going to take away your office space, will encourage other federal workers to take the buyout and to get out of the government kind of the way they want them to?
Well, that judge also blocked that, right? A different judge didn't. I think
one of them delayed it, right?
Delayed
the deadline.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Trump's going to just keep doing whatever the heck he wants, and he's going to, complete as many end arounds as he possibly can. And, these judges can fight it all they want in court, but, if USAID doesn't have a building or equipment, or, these agencies do not generate revenue. Mm-hmm. They have no revenue of their own. So you just need to, as they do in Office Space, fix the glitch. Like, it's just, nah, dog, we're not doing this anymore. We're not funding this. You can show up for work all you want, but there's no funds. Sorry. So I think there's innumerable ways that Trump could kind of go after USAID, the Department of Education, which is yet another, agency that doesn't generate its own money, that, these people are just leeches on the United States citizens. So it's going to be.
What do you want to see Trump go after?
Oh,
if you got to pick what happened next.
I want to see I want to see Trump go after porn. Like, stop the porn. It is ruining society. It's corrupting society. And I know that a lot of people think it's a freedom of speech thing, but I'm not one of those people. I don't think porn is speech. I think that the regulation of the normalization of porn is why all of the gay stuff, all of the queer stuff, it got normalized as well. And then it's a slippery slope. It's going to keep getting worse. And so I think that, I think that I would love, I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see Trump stop porn.
Does that start with a direct conversation to Elon, though? Because don't people want him to get porn off of X?
That definitely needs to happen right away. I don't know what's taking so long with that. But yeah, I mean, the X is the public square. I mean, even for people who don't want to see porn become illegal, I think we can all agree that being in the public square that is X, it's like that's public indecency to be putting porn on there, So
that's an interesting take. Unfortunately, like, I don't disagree necessarily. It's going to be a tough road to hoe, because I believe the Supreme Court has ruled that this is a freedom of speech issue. That doesn't mean they couldn't overturn it. I mean, the Supreme Court did rule on Roe v. Wade, and then they overturned that. So it could be something that they look at. I think capitalism can fix what X allows. I, for one, would have no issue whatsoever with them banning spicy videos and things like that. I know the freedom of speech argument is one that a lot of people want to have about it, but I'll just say, I don't think it improves my experience as an X user, and I pay for X, and so my opinion should matter. Yeah. And if Elon would do what he normally does, is like put it to a vote of only verified users, I would be willing to bet it would be close to 90-10 in favor of banning it. Nobody's going to
give him some cultural credibility. I mean, he's been a Republican for like one cycle so far. It's not like totally clear that he's got some libertarian instincts. He's got some other, pro-Trump instincts, but being like, I've heard you and I agree porn is bad, I'm going to remove it from X, not because he's compelled by law, but because he believes that is a cultural net benefit. Like, couldn't that win him some favor among the people? I guess lose favor among others, but
yeah, I mean, I would think, I don't know what his personal opinion is on it, but I think if you look back at how he handled Alex Jones, you could say, his personal opinion on Alex was that he wanted him banned, and that the people who use X spoke loudly and said, bro, I know you're uncomfortable with it, so you need to reinstate him. I think the same thing could be done with those type of videos. Like, the idea that, you can just blur it out, simple, you can't. You literally can't. No matter if you go on if I go to whatever's trending right now on X, within 10 seconds of scrolling, I'm going to see like explicit material. I don't know, it's different. Like, the question is, it's a slippery slope. Then people are going to say, well, do you want to ban, videos of Luigi Mangione? Do you want to ban videos of, all types of graphic videos? I think that you could make the argument to allow those type of videos by simply saying, hey, they're in the public interest. Explicit videos are not. They're explicitly to degenerate,
exactly.
the public.
And that's the thing is when they're showing these videos of murder happening and stuff, it's not, hey, let's show some glory killing for fun and everybody's getting some entertainment out of this. It's for awareness purposes. This is what's going on in the world right now. But with the pornography being posted in there, it's definitely not what it's definitely with more ill intentions. And I mean, society just crumbles when it starts accepting sexual immorality. I mean, it's just a thing. It's you can't contain this stuff. It's just a thing. And we've run into our society has just gone crazy to the point to where we're like, we need Trump to win or the end of the world is going to happen. Like,
there were a lot of people who felt that really strongly. Like, if it wasn't Trump, there was no way out.